All right. Yeah, first time getting so nervous versus Diamond, lol. Yeah, very, very true. Game 3 taking place here on MLG Shattered Temple. EP's Valkyrie versus DarkChigo. And this is a pretty interesting battle already. DarkChigo giving Valkyrie a difficult time here in this best of 5 series. He took game 1, DarkChigo was able to take game 1 with a pretty impressive macro style play. Valkyrie taking game 2. And now this is going to be a very important game 3. Who will be able to take the lead and then put the pressure on? Apparently, Valkyrie wants to know if Shigo is Korean. And yeah, so Valkyrie wants to know if DarkChigo is Korean, second generation, and yes, was pretty funny there. So we are going to be having a supply depot being built on the front door now, and with Valkyrie doing that, it normally leads to a lot more Banshee play or a lot more tech play. I'm kind of curious as to why Valkyrie or why DarkChigo actually chose Shattered Temple. Shattered Temple is a map that a lot of Terran players really, really like. Even though it doesn't have those cliffs, it does work out very, very well for Terran players, as a barracks will be placed down in just a moment. Wait for it. There it is. So there is that barracks. A probe now doing a very early scout as well. And I just got to check actions per minute. Wow, 186. Okay, so DarkChigo, he definitely at least knows how to spam actions per minute. Very, very high APM. We'll see how his APM continues into the rest of the games now, as the probe now wandering straight by. Gonna take a quick look. He sees the refinery. Gonna get some early damage, and now the probe backing off and getting in that 20 points of damage, and now gonna continue to take a look around inside this base. This one, I believe, just gonna take a look at here, see one gas is up and running. Does he see the gas yet? No, yes, he does finally see the gas now. Upgrade to an orbital command. A Marine will be added, as the probe now doing a bit of scouting. And does Valkyrie know that you cannot spawn as allies here on Shattered Temple? It doesn't look like he does. So he is in fact going to scout out this location first. Rather curious. As he does not know, or perhaps he doesn't play on MLG Shattered Temple. And now the probe just wandering around once more. It looks like that probe is going to be able to escape. And I'm surprised that Shigo has not tried to place down an assimilator. The assimilator would essentially gas block his opponent, and that would take a long, long time to destroy. Assimilators have base 1 armor and a lot of hit points in order to get destroyed, and now the probe will get taken down. Meanwhile, back over here, Shigo opening up with a double gas build of his own. Cybernetics, or double gas before the cybernetics core is even up and running. So we should be seeing perhaps a lot of sentries trained up, a stalker now being queued up as well, as we are now going into reactor Hellion. This is a very, very interesting change in direction, as we are also going into barracks. And no, it is not going to be reactor Hellion. It is going to be most likely tank, Marine tank pushing out. We do see a proxy pylon placed down here. Shigo, very known for placing down these pylons in very obscure locations and allowing him to be able to warp in Dark Templars and Zealots and then walk them into your opponent's base. You can see the tech lab now being added on. So it will in fact be a marine tank. We are also going into a Stargate though. So DarkChigo going into a Stargate. Is he hiding that building? Yes, he is hiding the building here. So not only is this a proxy pylon, it is a proxy Stargate. And I believe that may be a bit of an issue. The Void Ray with a range of 6 may be able to get some damage in, and then also be able to gain sight up onto that high ground. So the Stalkers will be able to shoot up onto that high ground as well. A Stalker now getting more damage onto that SCV. SCV now destroyed, and we may see perhaps a scanner sweep over here. And it sounded like there was a liftoff for just a moment. Yes, Valkyrie now lifting off his barracks. We are going to have one siege tank down over here. We are getting that Void Ray up. The Stalker now testing that waters, deciding to back off. And this is going to be very, very important. Will the Stalker be able to get enough damage here? More Stalkers could be warping in. The Warp Gate tech about to be completed. So this is going to be a 3-gate Void Ray pressure push. No chrono boost on the Stargate, just because the Void Rays, if you chrono boosted it out, really no advantage at all. He doesn't have enough gas. He's going to slowly catch up in gas. in just a moment, as Void Rays and Stalkers are both very, very gas-intensive units. And as I say that, Chigo does decide to finally Chrono Boost a Void Ray out. So one Void Ray is out, a second Stalker now warping in. He may decide to Chrono Boost that Stargate once more. He does have plenty of energy for it, deciding not to, so that the Void Rays will be coming out in essentially 55 seconds worth of time. And now also adding a missile turret. So more Stalkers are now being brought into play. The Void Ray should be able to put pressure on that front door. And it is going to be a lot of Stalkers here. The Guardian Shield now getting some damage here. And now a lot of damage being dealt on the front door. This front door may fall. The Void Ray getting in a lot of damage. And now in comes a missile turret. The Marines are trying to come back around, trying to get some damage here as well. As are we going to perhaps get a Guardian Shield? The Void Ray now pushing in. And there it is. There's that force field splitting it up. The Marines unable to get more damage. And the supply depot dangerously low on hit points. Down to 16. And SCV is trying to repair. No, not even repairing at all. As the Void Rays 2 in the air, adding in a lot of pressure here. The Sentry doesn't have enough energy for another force field as well, as there is also this missile turret here. That missile turret, you have to be very, very careful. There's another force field sacrificing even more Marines, and the Marines are just getting taken down, supply blocking, and the Marines are unable to engage. The Stalker is able to put down pressure, and Valkyrie may have a very difficult time trying to shut this down. The Marines are now trying to finally make their way in. The Void Rays are fully charged, going to be able to get off a lot of damage. SCVs now trying to repair, but unable to do so, as the Marines are the only true counter, and it looks like the reactor is going to get taken down as well. The reactor now destroyed. Stalkers just getting a lot more damage in, as the siege tanks finally have siege mode, and this range, this battle of range is becoming very, very important. The Void Rays looking to perhaps trying to counter, try to shut down that SCV. SCV is destroyed. The Marines are now trying to make their way over, but no stim in order to catch up, and that is a very, very difficult proposition, as the Stalkers may be able to get some damage in here. Now the Void Rays are absorbing a lot more damage than they should be, as the Zealots getting some damage in once more. And that is a lot of pressure to be had. A Nexus should be warping in here over here. So Chigo now taking the economic advantage by setting up his expansion first. Wow. So 4 siege tanks on the front. We can see that those Void Rays all very, very low on hit points, but the shields should start to recharge in just a moment. Another Void Ray being added. I'm curious as to why he needs that many Void Rays. The Void Rays could play a very, very just interesting game, getting damage on the front and then pulling back. They have the same movement speed, getting damage onto that reactor, pulling back as well, and now getting a little bit too close there, a little bit dangerous, as now we have 4 Void Rays in the air. Those Void Rays deal damage relatively quickly, as we are now, I believe, salvaging a bunker. Those siege tanks in a very, very odd position. Those siege tanks will be able to shut down any Stalkers that try to get within range, and those Marines just having a very difficult time. It looks like another reactor will get taken down, and reactors are very, very expensive and time-consuming to build. The Void Rays may now try to go after some of those supply depots as well, and a supply depot can get taken down rather quickly by Void Rays. Oh, overextending, and oh, a Void Ray down to 2 hit points. And let's see if DarkChigo actually removes that one Void Ray from the group. Yes, it looks like he's going to try to reposition it and get a better positioning once more. Stalkers are now pushing in again. We are going to get Stalkers and Zealots on that high ground. Are they going to be able to push in? There are siege tanks up on that high ground still. The Void Rays are looking to put in that pressure. It looks like the barracks may now get taken down. The barracks already down to 400 hit points. Now finally being forced to pull back. The Void Rays just playing a very, very dangerous game, as those siege tanks are covering the ground, and the Marines are unable to really get any damage onto those units. Production-wise, we are now going into an immortal and some robotics facility. This Nexus down over here has no probes at all, so that economic advantage that I thought would be coming in. Oh, DarkChigo losing a Stalker pretty needlessly there, and now may actually end up losing that Zealot as well, as the siege tanks do have that superior range. The front door, just a lot of SCVs. The Marines once again trying to push in. No Psystorm. I believe a Psystorm would be very effective, and now we finally have a Viking. The Viking should be able to get a lot more damage in. The Marines now trying to chase as well. And now the Stalkers are engaging. The siege tanks are on the low ground. And it looks like Valkyrie will finally be able to push out here. Even without stim, the Stalkers are desperately running away. And there is that counter pressure. Down goes that pylon. I do not believe Valkyrie knows about that expansion yet. But he did build another orbital command, and it will be landing in just a moment. 29 probes to 29. The problem with going early Void Rays is that if your opponent goes for Vikings, which his opponent did, then your Colossi will not be that effective either. You can now see the Siege Tanks, SCVs joining in on the battle. There are going to be a lot of SCVs perhaps trying to repair. There are no Medivacs at all that I can see. And the Void Rays, Stalkers, and Immortals are going to try to battle it out here. There is a Colossus as well. Void Rays are now engaging, trying to take it down. The Immortal getting absolutely destroyed. It looks like the Void Rays will be able to finish off the rest of the Siege Tanks, and that's going to be a problem. No, the Marines are just enough. 2 Void Rays in the air trying to finish out the rest of the Marines, and there's the GG. A very nice counter push by Valkyrie to now take the lead 2-1.